Folks, another traffic stop, another black man dead, this time in Eagan, Minnesota. The family of Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, 50-year-old man from Ghana, has filed a $120 million lawsuit against the county. It's a federal wrongful death lawsuit. The lawsuit claims officers and jail staff mistook his stroke symptoms for drug impairment, leaving him without medical care for hours. Let's talk with Katie Bennett. She's representing the family. She joins us right now. Katie, glad to have you here on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Walk us through these the allegations are unbelievable in terms of what happened. So, first of all, why was he arrested?
Right. So Kingsley had left work early, suffering from a headache, and he ended up taking a left turn on a red arrow and drove down the wrong side of the street and was pulled over by Eagan officers.
Okay, so he's pulled over by the officers. He runs a red light. But what? So what? They thought that, oh my goodness, he's on drugs, so therefore let's bring him to the jail?
Exactly. They assumed impairment from what they had seen and proceeded to get a search warrant for his blood, and he ended up at the jail after spending 2 hours and 16 minutes with the Eagan officers, where he was clearly declining. And then he suffers at the jail on the jail floor for another 3 hours and 40 minutes and spirals towards death.
Okay, now I'm confused. So he's complaining to them of what he's going through, what he's feeling. They take him to jail. He's there for 2 hours. Okay, you just described a total of 5 hours. At any point, are medics called? Is anybody literally checking him to see what's going on? So medics were not called at the traffic stop or at the jail?
That's correct. There was only medics called with regard to the search warrant for his blood, and they spent about 17 minutes there, did their job for the blood work, and that's about it. He is in the presence of the Eagan officers for a significant period of time, and then correctional officers are also at the jail doing checks on him and walking by. He's in a cell with large windows where he can be seen by many of the individuals, including all of the defendant correctional officers that have been sued.
Okay, so what then happens? So 5 hours go by, and what then leads them? Do they ever call paramedics?
Yes, but at that point, he is so close to death that it doesn't matter. There's nothing that can be done for him. Eventually, one of the correctional officers sees that he is foaming at the mouth, gray in color, having seizure-like activity, and brings this to their attention. And a nurse comes in, and then eventually paramedics are called, and he's taken to two hospitals after. But there's, again, nothing that could be done.
Do you have y'all been able to see body cam footage of the traffic stop and arrest, dash cam footage, and then have you been able to see video footage from the jail as well?
Yes, we have had access to all of that pre-suit. It's detailed in the complaint with regard to what the officers were discussing, including that it was potentially a medical incident, and all of his, honestly, telltale stroke signs that he was exhibiting, and the fact that those signs never abate and in fact get worse throughout the 5 hours and 40 minutes he's with law enforcement officers.
So what was the county, the police department, the jailers, what was their reaction? Did they say, hey, my bad, sorry, we screwed up?
In reaction to the lawsuit, Eagan has basically doubled down on the actions taken by their officers, or I should say deliberate indifference taken by their officers, asserting that he didn't tell them of any medical conditions that could explain his behavior. And I would say that's ludicrous. A person who on scene with officers can't tell them his name, where he worked, where he's coming from, his own address, basic facts.
As a matter of fact, if somebody can't tell me those things, even if I suspect them of being being drug impaired, I still need to get some medical professionals who can tell me that's actually what's going on.
Exactly. It didn't matter the underlying cause. When you're faced with those types of symptoms, the cognitive and physical impairments that he was exhibiting, the underlying cause doesn't matter. Get him help, medical help.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Certainly condolences go out to his family. And again, this is just another story that we keep seeing, another example of what happens when for an African American, when a traffic stop literally turns into a death sentence. And that's what it sounds like happened here. Certainly keep us apprised of what happens with this lawsuit.
Will do. Thank you.
They said the quiet part out loud. Black votes are a threat, so they erased them. After the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in 2013, Republican legislatures moved fast. New voter ID laws, polling place shutdowns, purges of black voters from the rolls. Trump's Justice Department didn't stop it, they joined in. In 2018, his DOJ backed Ohio's voter purge system, a scheme that disproportionately erased black voters. Their goal, erase black votes and political power. Yeah, that happened. These are the kinds of stories that we cover every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Subscribe on YouTube and download the Black Star Network app. Support fact-based independent journalism that centers African Americans and the issues that matter to our community.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.